I've been working with teens struggling with substance disorder and addiction for 25 years now. I work for New Horizons Youth and Family Ministries, Lifeline Youth and Family Services, and now have been working at Rock Solid Refuge for 6 years. So let's define addictions. The essential meaning of addiction is a strong or harmful need to regularly have something such as a drug or to do something such as gamble. Let's define substance use disorder according to the Mental Health Canada. Different substances, alcohol, or drugs affect the brain. People use these substances because these effects, which include feelings of pleasure or decreased feelings of distress. Any substance use by adolescents should be regarded as a problem because the brain of adolescents are still developing and drugs have a more serious effect on this age group. Here's what we know about teenagers and substance abuse. Today's young people, they seem entitled, irresponsible, and rebellious. But we know otherwise. Teens are simply lost. They're lost in a culture that has no real value, and a culture consumed by values that are determined by appearance and unhealthy social values created by social media that appeal to a teen's longing to connect with others. The future picture, statistically, for teens with substance issues is one that I don't even care to share, so I will refrain from doing so. Although hope for a future significantly increases for those who get the support they need. It takes 7 months for the brain to start to clear after regular marijuana use, regular being 1 to 2 times a week. And it takes 2 to 5 years for the brain to wire in a new system after it has been wired to depend on the substances. The images up on the screen show us brain scans through SPECT imaging provided by the Amen clinics. These aren't holes in the brain, they're images of the areas of the brain that are no longer working. So to the machine, it looks like there are just holes there. Really, drugs is about the underlying issues. So what are they? Because it's never about the drugs. Most addictions are simply byproducts of other issues. So identifying the emotional, the social, the mental, the spiritual, and the behavior problems is imperative. If you can look at this iceberg theory and understand that the behaviors or the substance use is just the tip of the iceberg. Below that are the thoughts, the feelings, and beliefs. See, young people usually fall into substance for a reason. Substance use usually has some underlying feelings or needs, and all behaviors have a root cause. So abnormal behavior usually begins with abnormal circumstances. Let's look at how every person is wired. This is taken from the Finding Freedom series. Everyone's wired for pleasure, for food and water, for sex and procreation, for love, respect, nurture, acceptance, for relationships, belonging, and intimacy, for security, provision, and protection, for purpose and significance, for rest, a stress, hassle-free existence, for beauty, for worship, and last and not least, for God. Addictions can occur as a way to fill or to rewire any of the needs we naturally have. And the 3 main areas that get cross-wired in 90% of people that struggle with addictions are 4, 5, and 6 on the previous list. Love, respect, nurture, acceptance, and relationships, belonging, intimacy, or security, provision, and protection. If we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when people fall into substance use, it's often due to the fact that our basic needs for love and belonging has been damaged or broken, which of course stops a person struggling in addiction from moving to any of the higher levels of human need development, and usually causes significant struggle in meeting even those basic levels of need. Healthy relationships are a key factor in recovery. So building those healthy, trusting relationships are essential for those in recovery, although those relationships take time to develop. Establishing those trusting relationships have without question shown themselves to have a very positive result in long-term success in recovery. At Rock Solid Refuge, we're committed to healthy relationships with our staff, students, families, and supporters. We believe that most of God's work is achieved through relationships. So let's take a quick look at the stages of change. If a person struggling with any addiction doesn't or can't recognize that they have a problem, they will never desire the help they need to start down the path to recovery. But you will learn more about the stages of change and how it relates to a person's recovery in another section of this video series. We will also talk to you about some common patterns or warning signs and behavior that are helpful to recognize someone struggling in addiction. As well as we will look at some basic strategies to help someone move into recovery. Well, thanks for watching this first video session, which is just an introduction to substance use. We hope these videos will be helpful to you. For more information and other resources, please go to our website at www.rocksolidrefuge.com. Thank you.